Action potential. Messages of responses to a stimulus are sent from the brain to the muscles by neurons. A group of neurons bundled together are called a nerve. Each neuron has a long extension called axon, which transmits the message. Axons begins in the base of the spinal cord and ends at the muscles. Axons are built to conduct electrical messages that are called action potential. The axons are surrounded by a Schwann cell, which helps to make action potential to be transmitted faster. The electricity is created by a reversal in charge of the axon. Action potential is an electrical current that travels through the axon of a neuron. Action potential only occurs when opposite charges exist on two sides of a cell membrane. The neuron maintains this polarity because of the potassium and sodium ions, that are molecules with charge in or around the cell. Neurons' membranes are full of channels which just allow sodium or potassium to go in and out. Action potential divides in four phases: resting potential, depolarization, repolarization, and return to resting potential. Resting potential. In resting potential, the outside concentration of sodium ions is higher than the inside cell concentration, and the inside concentration of potassium ions is higher than outside the cell. The sodium and potassium ions move down their concentration gradients. The sodium-potassium pump works to maintain more positive ions outside the cell, so the outside of the neuron is more positive compared to the inside, maintaining the concentration gradient, pushing sodium and potassium back to the sites they came from. Depolarization. Depolarization is when the inside of the cell becomes positive, and is the first step of action potential. The inside of the cell becomes positive when the potassium channels get closed, so potassium can't leave the cell, and the sodium channels remains open, allowing sodium ions into the cell, making the inside of the cell more positive than the outside. Repolarization. Repolarization is when the cell is going into resting potential again, and the inside of the cell becomes negative again. Repolarization happens when the sodium channel is closed, maintaining sodium out of the cell, and the potassium channel is open, allowing potassium out of the cell, restoring the positive charge outside the cell. Return to resting potential. Finally, the return to resting potential is when the sodium-potassium pump restores the original concentration of potassium and sodium.